I'm starting this one with a quick voiceover while past me fiddles around with the MPC and fails to give a good introduction to the video. Yesterday I made a video about how you can make bass tones using just line buzz from a cable that's plugged into your MPC but not plugged into anything else, inspired by a non-Jura video about how Jay Dilla used to make bass tones, and it kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of thinking, what if you tried to make a whole track out of that? And that's essentially what it is that you're hearing right now. This is the finished track, and the only thing I used for this was the MPC. When I did play out the final version you hear at the end of the video, I used a bit of vinyl sim on the 404 just for filtering, really, like an isolator. And I think that's about it. I'm just going to let me pick up from here in the past. Just like you would for any normal thing, and usually I'd plug this end into an audio recorder or this S1, which by the way I'm going to make a video on soon because this is absurd, this synth. It's this tiny little Roland S1 synth. I'll need to set up a different camera for it. But basically, if you go into recording mode and you hold the tip and the sleeve of this, you get line buzz. Okay, that'll do. I'm going to turn the recording down a bit. And this is just, okay, line buzz. I'm going to keep that. Up next, I'm going to, does it pick anything up from the MPC itself? Well, get about 20 seconds of this. Okay, so that's the screen. I know already some of you are watching this and going to say, this is a dog shit idea. Why are you doing this? This is never going to work. And you might be right. But trust, I think I can get something out of this. It might not sound all that good, but I think I can get something out of this. It's a proof of concept. So once again, this time I'm just going to hold the cable like here, like, you know, just above. See if we get something different. So I've called this one just amb, because it's just the ambience. It's literally just me holding this cable up. Now I'm going to take this out again. There's nothing else going into the MPC, and let's see if we can make something out of those horrible noises I just got. Yeah, everything's horrible. So the first thing I'm going to do with all of these is I'm going to normalize them. Just to get them as high a level as possible so we can bring them down again later. I appreciate that for a while things are going to sound minging. And I have nothing I can give you except my apologies. The one thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this already, the one thing I am going to do is allow myself to have my own drums, just because this is just the kit I literally used on the last full track I made on the MPC, just to have a basis of some kind. But what I am going to do is I'm going to try and make it so that the drums, we're not going to put the drums in until we have a basic idea made out of the sounds that we have, right? So we're going to go into the trim mode again, and let's start with, oh my god. Yeah, that's horrific. So this is just the ambient sound, and it's horrible, and I appreciate that. So the first thing we're going to do is just to start working with this, I'm going to put a low and a high pass filter on it, which really doesn't help matters yet, but trust. Okay, it's nasty, but we're going to get something out of this, I'm pretty sure. All right, so this is a bit nasty and it doesn't have anything going for it yet, but I'm going to stick with this. I have faith. I have faith we can get somewhere with this, all right? I know already some of you are like, this is dog shit, why are you doing this? But I have faith. So let's just put something in. That'll do for now. Just 2 bars, loop it. It's something. Okay, before we get too invested in that, let's get another sound going. So let's go into program mode for this one and then choose a different sample. Okay, here's my other thought. We can make some kind of a pad with this, but instead of doing it using 16 levels, we need to get all of these line bars. We do want them to be poly, so I think because of that, we're gonna go over and make them all note on. We're going to go straight into here, and we're going to just give them a lot of... I mean, that's already a thing. Look at that! Okay, wait a minute. Let's not overthink this, and just give ourselves some... I mean, it's all too loud and crazy, but it's... I mean, it works. Okay, the first sound we made might have to do the jump, but this is all right so far. I'm going to high pass it a bit. Yeah, a little bit of high pass, and then at the other end a little bit of low, but not much, I don't think. Sorry, genuine excitement moment. One other thing that I think this would really benefit from is bringing the sustain of all of these down a little bit, and then adding a little bit of ADSR to them. Just a little, like a tiny attack and a little decay. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave this for now. So I've skipped around a bit here, so I'll probably just cut to here. All I did is I added a bit of resonance to the low-pass filter, and I've added a bit of attack to the high-pass filter. I think the high-pass... I don't know if this ADSR affects both filters. Maybe it does, but either way, we now have this sound that kind of disappears a bit. So we have something. Let's see if we can record some of that in. Go back to the main. All right, that took an uncomfortably long amount of time to actually put in. Okay, so I just put in a really simple quantized drum beat. Don't need this to be fancy for this video. I can go back and fiddle with it later. This is a proof of concept. So we have, and I turned the chip-tuney sounding thing up a little bit. And now just time for a few effects. Yes. That's dope. I don't care what anyone says. That's fucking dope. Now, for this one, track 3, I'm going to undo everything that I've just done, because track 3, I'm going to make the bass. Okay, so we now have that, and now I want to do something with this bass. So I'm going to go into the program mode, and I'm going to go back to what I was doing before. Basically, we just take that one and put it across all the pads. So if I do the 16 levels thing, and I bring this up quite high. Okay, so I kind of like that. It could be pokier, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. So with the amp, it's just a little bit of attack and a little bit of decay with some sustain there. And on the filter, it's literally just a low pass with not that much resonance. Did I have timing correction on? I did. Shit. Alright, it's all going to be TC. Now we have a bass line and a kind of synth. From nothing, but we still have this sound here that we need to try and do something with. The original stuff that was in here we're going to get rid of. And then so the way I'm thinking about it now is that sounds dope, but I kind of want to maybe have this quite filtered. It doesn't have to be low because we have that really chunky bass now. So let's play with this. So what the hell are we going to do with this? That could work. What are we on already? 19. I'm still on the fence about this, but we're getting somewhere with it. And so I'm not going to give up on it yet. Because it's like a noisy little... It's like a really noisy oscillator stab, you know? That's the answer, really. It's just going to be like an extra percussion part. One final thing, I'm going to drop it an octave and see if that does anything. I found the robot chicken again. All right, we have a start. So let's go back. Let's go back and do more. We have a track 5. Is anything on it? What could we use? So we already have the notes here, so let's not change that. Let's just change the sample. Did I even use this yet? Hang on, let's just knock the filter. Oh, hello. No, let's leave the low pass filter on. This is not really tunable, is it? Let's just see, though. I'm going to try it. I mean, that's just crunchy as all hell anyway. Do we need it to be tuned, or is this just going to be some chiptune ambience? You know what? I'm going to record something in and just see if I can make something work after the fact. Okay, so we have a few different things here now, right? We have the drums, which don't really count, but then we have this. It really is just a slightly tuned noise, and like, I'm going to be honest with you, this noise and one of the other noises later, I probably would have just scrapped if I wasn't doing this for a challenge, but this, I could do more to the space, but I don't want to because of this. Because the way those two work together is so nice. Because the bass is a bit overblown, but I've taken more out of the bass of the synth. And before anyone feels the need to comment, I know my ears aren't great, and I'm not like some super amazing mixer. I don't need to hear that. That's fine. It pleases me, and that's all that matters. So, we've got this sound, which I love. Then this. This was the really nasty one, and it took ages to get to do something I wanted to, but this was the key, really. So let's just look through it. We got the sample, and we know it's the same sample as the other stuff. A long attack on the ADSR with a real short decay. And why aren't these all the same? Hang on. There we go. And the bandpass filter here with a high-pass filter here as well, which are just cutting it into a very small spot. This is where the real fun stuff happens, though. In the LFO, if you just affect the level quite heavily, it's basically just a tremolo effect with different waveforms, right? And I have the saw down effect happening. And if you turn this up, obviously it'll be slower or really fast. But I quite like 20. And if I add a bit of delay to this, what if I did that with the filter instead, I wonder? And I'm not trying to pretend this is one of the coolest sounds in the world at all. That's not my point here. But again, I want to just remind you all real quick that we started here. And here. And here. So I feel like getting here isn't bad, you know what I mean? So that's all she wrote. This wasn't a tutorial. This was a dick about. I have no idea if the editing is even going to work on this, or if it's just going to look like an absolute nightmare. But I just wanted to kind of try this out and see what happened, and hopefully I can edit this down to a real short amount. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm going to mess around with this a bit more, see if we can benefit from a little bit of external effects, but only on the master channel. Like, I'll put it through the SP, or I'll just stick it in the computer. And yeah, let's just see what's what. Oh, the jank. We love the jank.